to the Phantom Pro Series, race number 17, the first race of the round of 8.
Damn, I lost my vape when I was eating at my girlfriend. Oh, fuck, I'm on stream.
Yeah, you is. But we's at Auto Club Speedway today. And after the race we saw on Saturday, which was right down to the wire, side-by-side finish at the line for the win, that went to the 8-car Nomad. Mark McAtack gave him a run for his money, but Nomad ended up edging just ahead. Hoping to see the same thing tonight.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one tonight. Auto Club, you expect a lot of 3-wide, 4-wide, 5-wide racing. You know, especially going into turn 1 on that first lap. Expect some crazy stuff to happen off of turn 2. It's going to get wild around here.
Yeah, it is. Turn 1 at Auto Club, because it's such a big, wide track that you definitely can see even 6 wide if you got guys feeling gutsy. But we're just going to have to, wait and see on that.
Bless you.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I will say, though, I was having a couple of drinks before this, so this should be fun.
And I have the flu, so it's going to be really fun. We're going to have a injured booth out here tonight.
It's just like a Tony Romo Cowboys kind of day.
Ugh. Don't say his name, bro.
But hey, it's not wrong.
It's who I aspire not to be.
All right, but it looks like we have top 8 right now. As it sits right now, Black Cross goes into this first race right below the cutoff line. And he is about 5 points away from Elvin Priest, who's right just above the cutoff line. Not where we thought we'd see the regular season champ, but that is, if you want any indication of how his playoffs have gone, that's a pretty keen one right there.
I think he can get it done tonight, though.
Yeah, we've seen the speed there from him. Like, he's had good runs. It's just, it has not panned out. Like, we keep harking back to Charlotte. Like, he had a really good chance to win that. Didn't do that. Didn't end up getting it done. And then we go to New Hampshire, his home track, the track where he can hang his hat on doing the best. And he was pretty just meh the whole race.
Yeah, and, you know, Elvin Priest, since the beginning of the playoffs, you know, he came in after winning the regular season championship, and it looked like he was just slacking off a little bit. But recently, he's been kind of getting it together, getting back into the top 5, running up there.
I think it was just getting the weight of the retirement announcement off. You know, you spend a little bit too much time worrying about how that's going to go down, what's going to be the aftermath of that. But I think now that he's gotten that out of the way, as now we're getting invites, I think he'll be able to start focusing more on getting some more good runs out of that 42 car.
Yeah, so let's go over favorites for tonight. I'm looking at one guy in particular, the new owner of Phantom Racing League. I'm going to go with Parley tonight. I think that's my dog for tonight. I think he's going to be leading a lot of laps. Even though it's Auto Club, I think he's a great blocker. He knows how to control the lanes, control the pushes. I think that's going to get him a win here tonight.
Well, I guess I got to go with our now points leader sitting at that 1 seat. I got to go with Showtime Flash. I believe he's in the race tonight. If he's not, I mean, if he is, that's definitely going to be the guy I go with. He's been just absolutely on a tear every race he's been in so far.
I can check.
But I think my dark horse, though, has got to be Black Cross. He was really strong in New Hampshire. I wasn't able to actually, no. Talladega was kind of a dark horse. You really can't judge a guy based on Talladega, and he didn't really have the run he wanted there.
Showtime Flash is in the field.
All right, then, yeah. So I'll keep my picks the same there. But, yeah, no. Oh, that was definitely me dragging my mic across the wall. But, yeah, no. Black Cross has been showing that steady improvement. I think he'll be able to get himself out of that cutoff line.
Oh, join. You said join. Join the race. Oh,
yeah, I'm doing that right now.
You said it like 20 seconds ago.
Oh, I just got that message. Like I said, we're a little bit of a hurt field tonight. We're a little bit of a hurt booth tonight.
And for my sleeper pick for tonight, I think I'm gonna go with Shack Attack.
Yeah.
I don't know, I like his odds here tonight. I think that on these bigger, flatter tracks, he runs a lot better than we give him credit for. I think that's gonna help him and benefit him to get him a win here tonight. His first career win in Phantom.
Yeah, Shack Attack's definitely been one of those guys that's been really bringing it up. But now as we see the 12 cars leading to green, the 7 of Showtime Flash leads him down, and the 5 of Parley to his outside. Oh, excuse me. Now we see everybody in the top 3 start to go single file as they're still fighting in the back. But the top 6 have now gone single file, with Showtime Flash going to lead him down the back. Parley in second. The 44 Field Filler third. The 41 of Old Johnny Boy will be sitting in fourth. And that 78 of 19 sitting on the edge of the top 5.
Well, Showtime Flash taking the early lead here. Expect a lot of single file racing here for the first stage. But it's going to be one of those Phantom Pro Series races that we've been seeing all year. I believe as the stages go on, it's going to get crazier and crazier. As Parley's peeking to the inside, he's not going to make the move. He's going to stay behind the 7 of Showtime Flash. I don't know. It's going to be a good one here tonight. Everyone get comfortable. Grab a drink. Grab a snack. It's going to be a long one.
Yes. Parley had the run on him on the inside, but because of that outside run, that 7 of Showtime was just able to pull away and keep Parley behind him. But Parley definitely showing that short run speed, as now we see the 41 of Old Johnny Boy dip into the inside of the 44 Field Filler. He's going to try and move into that third spot. He's going to look to take the 78 of 19 with him.
There comes the number 5 car as he's starting to play some defense, as you're seeing from third place, Old Johnny Boy making his way up towards the front. I was going to mention him as my sleeper pick for tonight, but I don't know. It seems like he runs really good opening on in the stages. And then come the final stage, he's just evaporated. The run's gone. So hopefully he can stay up front here tonight, as that would be a huge accomplishment to come home with a podium here at Auto Club.
Yeah, I haven't really talked much about Old Johnny Boy. He's, like you said, he's had the speed, but those finishes are just few and far between on him finishing inside the top 3, let alone the top 5. But he's doing really solid right now, as 19 has cleared that 44 Field Filler to take away that 4th spot. Top 2 stay the same, but some jostling for position, as now these cars are really starting to get spread out. You see the 50 in the back of Shack Attack has now lost the lead group, along with that 42 of Elvin Priest. And way back there is that 43 of K2005, a newcomer, I think, to this league. Just trying to run some laps, get used to the cars, get used to his setup. Looking to see what he can do through the stages, but right now, riding the bench in the back of this field, as now the top 5 have now gotten real close to each other.
Another name back there, Elvin Priest. We've been mentioning it all playoffs long. Now Elvin Priest runs himself lost from the draft, as he's back here with Shack Attack in the 50 car. Not the exact start that Elvin Priest would have wished for here at Auto Club, but let's see if he can make adjustments, find himself up back at the front, as we are seeing a pass for the lead. Here comes the 5 of Parley from the inside, and then Old Johnny Boy is going to capitalize on the mistake from the 7. The 7 went really wide there in turn 1, and now they're just going to train right past him. That's going to put the 7 of Showtime Flash back in 4th place.
Yeah, and usually when you're up in that eye line, you can get the runoff and keep yourself in position with the car that's trying to pass you, but that's only if you intend to use that outside line. If you're not looking to use that outside line and you get shoved up there, whether you get loose or miss the corner, you're not going to get any sort of run, and you're actually just going to keep falling, as now he went from the lead all the way back to 4th. But maybe, I don't know, the pit strategies or the pits per stage in this race, this might be a fuel-saving kind of strategy to keep himself on the track for an extra lap or two.
You know who's streaming?
Nope.
Me neither. None of them showing up.
Yeah, I don't have Parley streaming.
Harley's not streaming.
No, and I don't know.
Apparently, Johnny Boy is, but I don't know his YouTube account.
No, I don't know either. That's all right. We're fine. We'll figure it out as we go.
As we're starting to see some of this dominance from the 5 car. I predicted him as the winner for tonight for one reason only, his consistency. I comment on it almost every week, but racing against him last week at Talladega is, I don't know if you guys watched that race or not, but you should go back and watch it. I actually ran in that race, got a podium finish. Gonna give myself a little pat on the
It's
shoulder.
definitely a good finish.
Yes.
I wouldn't say the stream was as good as I wish the stream was as good as the race, but you know.
Well, mistakes happen and audio issues exist.
Oh yeah. But we'll be looking to fix those here in the near future. As now this whole top 5 or 6 that was real bunched together is now finding themselves to be spread out again. As old Johnny Boy keeps trying to find that line that fits that 41 car as he stays in line with the leader, the 5 car Parley.
The draft showing not to be as important as we thought it would be. It's only really affecting the top 3, as 4th, 5th, and 6th have all fallen apart back there. About 4 or 5 car lengths between all of them. Not what you like to see early on here in Auto Club. I mean, I expected an all-out dogfight for the lead, but right now we're seeing Parley take control and take off from 4th, 5th, and 6th, as 19mm is also struggling as well to keep up with the 5 of Parley. Is now old Johnny Boy makes his move down pit road. He's the first one down. Who else follows him? A few other cars. Elvin Priest, Shack Attack, and the 15. It looks like they already replaced my number. That is Garv 38. And then lastly, K2005 also comes down pit road, as we're starting to see green flag pit stops get underway here in Auto Club.
Yeah, as we saw Garv have a really good run at Talladega. And with these guys riding in the back as short pit's probably their best bet right now to gain track position, which is apparently playing a real role in this race that we're seeing today. Is we're seeing the 5, all those guys that didn't pitch staying out. So this will be interesting. These guys are going to have about a lap plus fresher tires than the cars that have pitted.
As Elvin Priest does not have the pit stop he wanted. He comes out far behind.
Yeah, but he's at least got a group of, he's at least got Garv and Shack Attack behind him.
Parley's pitting this time. She made it clear going down to the bottom line. If you guys don't realize that, sometimes when they cut down to the bottom on the backstretch, that means that they are pitting that time. As Parley makes the hard cut down, as he makes his way on pit road, he's going very fast. He gets in on time though. Only him and 19mm coming down pit road, as we see the 7 of Showtime Flash and Field Filler stay out.
Not only that, you see the 24 of Black Cross. He stays out too, so these guys should be coming down this time. I don't know how much longer they can stretch this before they start hitting fumes.
As it looks like they're coming down this time. I believe so. No, Field Filler might be staying out. The strategy man himself, known for specifically his strategy calls, finds himself as the leader, the only car that has not pit yet. An interesting strategy call. I wonder how this is going to play out for the 44.
Yeah, it's now the 41 of old Johnny Boy. All those cars that were a lap back are now starting to get those laps back. So now it's where they're going to fall out when they come back around.
Which Parley ends up behind old Johnny Boy.
That shows that there is some strategy to short pitting, but the question is how much now with the 7 of Showtime on pit road.
Field Filler also coming down this time.
Here comes old Johnny Boy, who would assume the race lead if he gets ahead of that 7, who's now only just leaving his pit. Old Johnny Boy coming around to the outside. He will pass the 7. And here comes Parley. Parley will get by the 7 of Showtime. Showtime staying in 3rd, but the 41 of old Johnny Boy using the most from that short pit and will now assume that race lead.
Well, Johnny Boy showing some early speed out here in the West. You know, that was one of the names I weren't expecting to say here a lot tonight, but old Johnny Boy using strategy and speed to take advantage of others' mistakes, as now he finds himself as the leader once this cycles out as Field Filler makes his way off of pit road, as it signifies that your leader is old Johnny Boy in the 41, followed by the 5. And then 3rd place is 19mm, who's getting chased down by the 7 of Showtime Flash.
Yeah, what a job, though, by the short pit. You're definitely seeing that there are some benefits to doing that, but we will see just how much he's got, because he does have 2 laps. 2 laps on his tires compared to that 5 of Parley. And meanwhile, you got the 7 back here fighting with that 78 of 19 who he just got by, who he has 3 laps fresher tires than our current leader, who's now getting past to the inside, or at least looking to. Parley to the inside of that 41. The 41 will let him on by. Trying to just keep that track position, as Parley will now assume the race lead once more.
Great job by the 5 car Parley. He wasted no time to catch up to that 41 and make that pass for the lead, as now he finds himself with the lead over old Johnny Boy. Running 3rd is Showtime Flash. Rounding out the top 4 is 19mm, and then finally rounding out the top 5 is, if I can find it. It looks like the 7's coming down to pit road this time. That was crazy, but yeah. Oh, 5th is Field Filler. I believe the 7 car is pitting this time. Yes, he is.
All right, so apparently it's a 2 pit stop for this first stage.
Interesting call. We're going to see how this plays out for the 7 car, as I was only expecting about 1 pit stop in the first stage. But it looks like Parley's also coming down this time. Old Johnny Boy will be staying out. So, some interesting calls here as Parley's getting down to speed. He's coming in this time as well. Old Johnny Boy retakes the lead here at Auto Club.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to give that 7 any extra run-in bits, because we know the speed that 7 has, especially if you're that 5 car Parley, and it looks like dang near the majority of the field comes down with him. Old Johnny Boy looking to stretch this out a bit.
All alone.
Yeah, but there is some logic to it, because if you stay out, you're almost, that should be the 7 car of Showtime Flash just ahead of this 41. I mean, as long as he doesn't get right on your bumper, I thought he was going to run it a little longer, but now old Johnny Boy comes down pit road. I thought he was going to try and run it near the end of the stage, and that will be the 15 of Garv that comes down with him. But now it looks like Showtime Flash will assume the race lead.
Wow, what a pit stop.
But that still leaves the 41, who I believe will not be in that same position.
I believe he's going to come out 2nd here.
Yeah, he's just now getting into his pit, as these cars are now coming across the start-finish line. It looks like the 41 will be dropping through this field.
Interesting.
He's not even out of the pits as the leaders go by.
It looks like he might have taken tires.
Yeah,
I believe
definitely.
all the leaders only take 2 or none. So Interestingly enough, Showtime Flash finds himself with a massive lead here over Parley and Field Filler.
We'll see, though, because Parley at least has that 44 Field Filler to give him a little bit of help down the straightaways.
Well, we have no idea what lap it is.
No, we have no idea what lap it is. So the stage is just going to come to a surprising end here tonight.
Yep.
And by the looks of it right now, it's looking like Showtime Flash might just have the edge here in this first stage, but things can change on a track like this. So we shall see.
So no stream from Parley.
As Hamlin will look up or try and find the stream. I texted a couple of people to see if they can send it to me. I haven't gotten anything yet.
Well, Elvin told me that old Johnny Boy and Parley were streaming and neither of them are streaming.
Maybe they just forgot to hit the button.
Probably.
Right now, it is looking like Black Cross is sitting back here in fourth with the 78 of 19 rounding out the top five. Elvin Priest sitting just behind him in sixth. And scratch that, it's old Johnny Boy in fifth. Then 19 and sixth. Somewhere around there. Black Cross, though, in fourth, way behind the leaders, is now, I think. Now, it was looking like, from a distance, that 5 car was starting to catch up to him, but not the case.
I believe the stage is coming to a close here. Oh, Parley had a big moment there down the backstretch.
Yeah, the 44 actually tried to jump up wide through the exit at turn 2 and went way too wide and lost a bunch of momentum. Now he's going to have a run here on the 5-car Parley.
That might be the end of the stage.
Across the tri-oval. They're still going. Like I said, this stage is just going to come to a surprising end.
I gotta ask Owen how many laps are in stage 2. There's, oh, Field Filler's making a move on Parley. Nope, he's gonna get back behind him. I believe
I
we
think
still have a few laps to go because Field Filler's not as impatient as I would think he would be right now.
Yeah, I think right now it's just play the help your buddy game is now, as I say that, Field Filler going to go to the inside of the 5.
This might be
Going to try and dive it into turn 1.
By the way, guys, we have no recollection of what lap it is or when the stage ends because nobody set up their stream. So, I believe this is the last lap is the way Field Filler's racing. As they're going to make it through 3 and 4 here as the 7 car is just taking off. No one's going to catch him now. He pretty much has this stage 1 guaranteed in the bag. As now, come to the line, and there's
like I said, we aren't going to be able to know when this stage is going to end. But I think the 44 wanted to get by the 5 because he just knew he was faster. Just stay behind the 5 and try and save your stuff up a little bit because he is now driven away from the 5-car Parley by at least a good car length. Maybe a car length and a half.
That draft doesn't mean as much as we thought it would tonight.
I know, right? If you watch the race on Saturday, that draft looked like it meant a whole lot. But right now, it's looking like tire wear is starting to mean more of the factor.
An interesting call from Field Filler. He came in, I believe, a lap after, or 2 laps after the number 5 car, and it's really paying off. It looks like the biggest factor in tonight's race is tires, which we were expecting it to be the draft, but I don't know.
Right now, we're just going to have to wait and see if that 44 can do anything with what he's got. Right now, it looks like not really gaining time on that 7, but definitely that 5 isn't gaining ground back on the 44 Field Filler. Now we come closer and closer to the end of this stage. And definitely after this stage, these guys are going to be looking at those mandatory pit stops a lot more differently than they've been doing so far, because Showtime Flash is just about to put on a clinic right now. Struggled a little bit until he got that second round of pit stops done, and now is just running away with it.
Oh my goodness, that's 7 cars at the least 2.5 seconds ahead, as we still have not gotten close to the end of stage 1. So, who knows, we might be here all night. That's okay.
Yeah, and he's definitely taking the shortest line around this track that he can get. Really taking a high arc into turn 1, getting down to that white line. And as soon as he touches it, comes off, gets a wide arc out of 2. Try and keep that straight line momentum as much as he can. So right now the 5 really not losing that much time on that 44, but it looks like the 44 might have gained maybe a 10th or 2 in the past 2 laps. Really not much to get all jazzed about yet. Because that would be the end of stage 1.
Yep, there it is.
The 7 of Showtime Flash, your stage 1 winner, with the 44 of Field Filler coming in second, and Parley will round out the top 3. So now we're going to give a shout out to the sponsors here. Well, we got a chance. We're going to give a shout out to MFF Motorsports, Chris's Auto and Towing LLC, J-Pace Racing, Everything NASCAR, Firelinks Racing Network, The Super Squad, ESMN, Everything Stop Motion Network, Red Line Racing, FTR Racing League, North American Racing Series, Minipeach.com, and the fitness program we all follow, the Flash 9 fitness program, hashtag Lick Trees.
Yes, sir. It's actually what's helping me recover from the flu as fast as I am. You know, I was feeling really sick yesterday, but I found my local tree with the most sap, put my tongue in there and dug out as much sap as I could, and look at me, I'm feeling a whole lot better, good enough to commentate tonight. So, just follow the procedures, and you will be as healthy as all of us. As Parley stream is up, by the way.
Oh, goody! Yeah, someone must have told him that he wasn't streaming.
Yep. Showtime Flash is going to lead him to the green flag here, side by side with the 44 Field Filler. All equaled out now as everyone has the same tires and gas as we are underway here in stage 2.
Yeah, as I'm still trying to pull up Parley's stream. It's not coming. Oh, there it is. There we go. I got it now.
This makes it a whole lot easier.
Thank God. But now the 7 of Showtime Flash. Yeah, is now we are seeing 2 by 2 through the first set of corners, as Parley looking to the inside has a little bit of a run coming off of turn 4.
But he doesn't have the push.
No, he doesn't have the push. That goes to the 7 and the 44 on the high side. Because now we're starting to see a little bit of that draft starting to take over. Definitely waiting to see as now everybody starts to drop to that bottom line. Will that affect how that outside runs? But that outside is just so tight together.
And here comes a name that we haven't mentioned all night, Blackcross in the 24. Now making his way up into the top 5.
Yeah, he's now, the 7 car has to bob and weave and find the line that's moving the most right now, and it looks like it's just going to be him and that 44 Field Filler, as the 5 has lost his help, and that 41 no longer on his bumper. But we'll be able to see if the 5 of Parley has made the right adjustments to help that car hug that bottom. He's still underneath that 44 Field Filler, who's trying to hold on to second at the moment.
Oh, there goes old Johnny Boy making a push to the 5 car. Parley not enough though. Field Filler shuts the door on that as they go back to running single file. We're going to see how long it takes for them to spread out here, as we saw it last stage. I think this stage, though, is going to be a lot more competitive, a lot more moves, I think a lot more impatience. And that is very important at a track like Auto Club, the track where you can make the most amount of moves, in my opinion. So we're going to see how everything unfolds.
Yeah, and you got to make it smart, though. If you're going to make that move, you better have it calculated, because one wrong move and you're going to lose the person that's in front of you. And if you don't have the car to keep up with them, you're long gone.
Yeah, if you lose the draft at a track like Auto Club, you might as well call your race over or your stage over, as there's no chance that you catch it back up, especially if they have multiple cars in that line. So it's all about keeping your car straight, keeping it fast, and making adjustments to make your car faster than everyone else's. That's the way to win here tonight.
Yeah, it is right now. Everybody's staying single file, running in the line of that 7 car, waiting for him to make a mistake so that way they can capitalize and try and make a run at the lead. As now we're seeing the 41 and the 5 starting to make a run. Now, do you have to brake going into these corners or let off the throttle at all?
You have to let out the throttle, but that's about it.
Yeah, because I'm seeing that with the 5. He's letting out just a little bit earlier
than
that 44.
You know, one thing that we give him a lot of credit for is his patience. How long he can sit behind someone without making a move, even with them making mistakes. And sometimes that can be beneficial, and sometimes that can hurt him. So we're going to see how the patience plays off here as he's following the leader here. Doing a good job at it, too, and had no mistakes, hasn't gone into the back of the 7 at all, so.
No, that's been Field Filler's MO all season. You know, he's going to race calculated and race clean. You know, he's not out here to wreck for a win or wreck for a good finish. You know, he races you with, he's got that patience. He can just sit right now in second, knows that it's a good run. This is right where he wants to be. That 7 makes a mistake, he's right on his bumper, ready to capitalize on it. And right now he could be saving a little bit too, riding in that draft. So that way he can either stay out an extra lap or 2, or be able, when he's short, if he short pits, he'll have to take less fuel, so it's less time on pit road. We're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. Now taking a little bit of a wide exit, trying to get some of that straight line speed out of that 44. We're going to have to wait and see just when and where someone will make a move here in this top 5.
I sure hope we don't get too exciting in the finish. I don't think either of us can handle it.
Don't worry, B, I got you. But right now it's the 24 and the 15 that are falling off this lead pack. Not really having the speed to keep up. I think right now these guys are either trying to get that straight line speed or stick right in the coattails of the car in front of them to keep as much of that draft on their nose as possible.
As you know, this has been a lot closer than it was last stage. I mean, it looks like 19mm is starting to lose a little bit of that draft. And then, once again, I have to mention it, Elvin Priest, all the way out of the draft.
Yeah, he's definitely not been having that race that he's wanted. I mean, he's definitely working his way through the field with all the pit strategy and all, but definitely not where he wants that car to be. As he right now rides that 7th spot, as he now comes down pit road.
Yep.
All the car is he, the 50 is Shack Attack, and the 43 at K2005 will be coming down this time, trying to short pick it ahead of the leaders. Use a little bit of that pit strategy as the 44 Field Filler has not left the bumper of that 7. Waiting on that.
Okay.
Waiting on that 7 to make that mistake. So we can get underneath them. Is now the 24 Black Cross will come down this time. The leaders, though, still staying out. The 42 of Elvin Priest will not get out ahead of the leaders. He's not even out of his pit box yet, as now he's leaving pit road. The 7, the 44, and the 5 still your top 3. Now, I think once you start losing that lead draft, you start thinking about short pitting. As I say that, the 78, who is just about out of that lead draft, shows the bottom and looking to come down this time. He might be bringing that 15 car with him. We'll have to wait and see as a 41 comes down this time as well. 78 of 19 carrying a ton of speed. And no, the 15 of Garb elects to stay out. Gonna pit with the leaders and try and use a little bit of entry speed to try and get himself onto pit road behind him. We'll have to see if he'll be able to do that cleanly. Because now all these cars starting to rejoin the track. 24 Black Cross now rejoins ahead of the 42 of Elvin Priest.
As the top three stars have made a move down to pit road, Showtime, Flash, Field Filler, and Parley all still on the track.
I mean, they have to come this time. They will be on fumes the whole next time around. And that's with the 5 of Parley on probably 3/4 of a lap. And there it is. They're all showing the bottom. The question is, where will the rest of the field that came down pan out when these guys pit? I'm interested also to see where that 15 of Garb will pan out when he comes down. He's going to try and have an aggressive entry.
Close.
Yeah, he closed that gap a little bit, but will it be enough?
It looks like right Parley sped from the view I'm looking at on his point of view. He came in at 56.
We'll see, but right now, old Johnny Boy will lead that pack of cars that have already come down with the 78 behind them. But they've only just gone their lap back. Question is, now this is a big track, the question is, where will these cars pan out? Not what you want to see from the 5, but we know he's got the speed to be able to make his way back, but definitely not what you want to see is now the cars rejoin, and the 5 does not get the speeding penalty. The 41 of old Johnny Boy looking to get around the 7, and he just might. The 7 rejoins the track on the backstretch, and now old Johnny Boy.
He's going to be right behind him.
Yeah, he's going to be fighting with that 78.
With 2 lap fresher tires.
Yeah, he's now.
That's going to be huge for the 7 cars. He gets back up to speed here and tries to chase down old Johnny Boy. Old Johnny Boy, his pit crew and his strategy has been on the top of the game tonight as he finds himself back in the lead. But now it's time to start shivering because you got that fast Showtime Flash 7 car in your mirror thanks to the tree-looking Strat. I think that's paying off quite well for him tonight. As it might be the 7 coming back down.
Yeah, there's going to be a 2 pit stop again. The 15 of Garb has already come down to make his second pit stop. With the 7 coming down now this time, the only one.
The 7 came in quite 15. Fast. The 7 came in really hot there. I don't know, that might be a speeding penalty. When I say he came in hot, he came in hot.
I was going to say, I'm not hearing anything about it. Over the radios, the 5 and the 44 now showing the bottom with the 41 as well. The top 3 looking to come down this time. And Parley going to be looking to have a little bit of a faster entry again. Undercuts, the 41 takes a wide entry. The 44 of Field Filler will come down pit road with that lead. 41 comes down in second, but right now it's where will the 7 car of Showtime now on that backstretch going into turn 3. Where will he be in relation to these cars when they all come out? As he now is coming across the start-finish line. Everybody now coming off of pit road. The 44 will lead him off. It looks like it was just a splash and dash for them. And it looks like the 44 might be just able. He's not gonna. He could have tried to come up in front of the 7, but either way, it was going to be a losing effort with how much speed that 7 was going to be coming with. Decides to stick in behind the 7 and stay in P2 and not risk wrecking them both. But I think he might still have a little bit of that draft, so we'll see if Field Filler can do anything with that.
I think it's going to be interesting here as Parley really lost a lot of time on those pit stops. That's going to find him about a second back from the leader. That's not what you like to see if you're the 5 car, as there's only about 10 laps to go in the stage. I think that might be a stage killer for the 5.
Yeah, but we saw at the end of the last stage, those old tires came on a little bit at the end. As Field Filler continuing to close that gap between him and the 7 to try and make it a fight to the end of this stage. Is Parley now only a second behind the 44 and a little over a second and a quarter or second and a half behind the leader. But he is definitely losing time to them as he's trying to make this draft work and leave the battle to end the stage between them two. We'll have to wait and see if Parley's tires can come on strong here at the end to try and give him a run of at least second. Right now it's what can the 44 of Field Filler cook up with 8 laps to go here in stage number 2.
I gotta take care of something for work real quick, so if you want to just take over, go ahead.
Yeah, as now we look a little bit farther back in the field. The 78 of 19, 15 of Garv, and the 41 of old Johnny Boy back here looking to have a duke for that 4th spot. 19 sitting in 4th, Garv in 5th, and that 41 sitting in the 6th spot. I'm actually quite curious. I'll look at it at the end of the stage after I'm done shouting out some sponsors. Right now, the 7 of Showtime still out in the lead. It doesn't look like that 44 has been able to close in like we thought he would, as we're going to be coming around here to 6 laps left in the stage. And like I thought would happen, that 5 of Parley not really closing in as well as we thought he would either. The fresher tires unable to keep up with the setup underneath that 7 of Showtime Flash. He is definitely having a run today. And almost on rails is now the 5 car overshoots the exit of turn 2. He is in the wall. Keeps it straight, but now that puts him completely out of contention to get up and close personal with the top 2. That should lock him into at least 3rd. There's really nobody around him, but definitely not going to have a shot at the lead now, as he's now went from being about a second and a quarter behind. He lost a whole second, now 2.2 seconds behind the 7 car of Showtime Flash. He might be able to come close to these two, but he's not going to be able to put up any sort of a fight. As now the 15 of Garv is closed in on the 78 of 19 millimeter. Still keeping an eye on the top 2, but definitely want to point out some of the other battles that might be going on through the field. Garv might be looking to put the battle on the 2 cars that look almost identical with the red and black paint schemes. Garv going to look to the inside. As now we have 4 laps to go here in stage number 2. Garv going to shoot to the inside into turn 1. He's going to take over P4. But don't count out that 78 of 19 still on his bumper. He's going to skim the wall coming out of turn 2. As a look back up ahead, it looks like the top 2 have closed back in on each other again. 44 might have just been saving maybe a little bit, staying in the 7's draft, but not using everything he has to try and save as much of those tires as he can for the end of the stage, as we now have 3 laps to go in stage number 1.
As I'm back, and I came back to Field Filler being right on the back bumper of the 7, as he's making a late push here to try and win stage 2. I wasn't expecting that, but it looks like Field Filler has a lot of speed in his car tonight. That Grambling State University Camaro flying around this wide track that we call Auto Club California. As 2 laps to go now. Can the 7 hold off that 44? We're going to see.
Yeah, no, the 44 might, like I was saying earlier, the 44 might have just been letting off a little bit. The 5 takes himself out of contention for this fight for the lead, but the 44 might just be trying to stick in the coattails. No other battles going on through the field. We already saw the battle for, or talked about the battle for 4th. That's all done and taken care of. Now with 2 laps to go here in this stage. Now coming to the white flag. Showtime Flash just has to outlast that 44 one more time around.
What will the 44 do if he catches up to the back bumper of that 7? That's the big question. Does he look to the inside? Will he look to the outside? Or he might not even get up there at all. We're going to see as we're coming down the backstretch for the final time here in stage 2. The 44 is still about 2 car lengths off. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get up there.
No, it's looking like it's all the 7 as they go through turns 3 and 4. The 44 going to get just maybe a hair closer, but it ain't going to matter. Through the tri-oval and across the line, Showtime Flash sweeps the first 2 stages at Auto Club Speedway. As now we're going to give a quick shout out to the sponsors here of MFF Motorsports, Chris's Auto and Towing LLC, J-Pace Racing, Everything NASCAR, Firelinks Racing Network, The Super Squad, ESMN, Everything Stop Motion Network, Red Lion Racing, FTR Racing League, North American Racing Series, Minipeach.com, and Flash 9 Fitness Program, baby, hashtag lick trees. As I want to do something that I did in the last stream that we were doing. That is, I want to look through the comment section if there is anybody that has actually entered anything in the chat, which is a fat no. So, there goes that plan. Just because I had so much fun last week of talking to everybody in the live chat. The question now remains, what will the rest of the field do as it relates to that 7-car showtime? Definitely been on rails today. The cars have been able to, everybody's been able to get close to them, but nobody's been able to make a move to get by them. Now they come to the green. The 7 of Showtime. Gonna lead him down. We saw him go 2 by 2. But now the 44 going to drop in line with that 7. He's not going to mess around going to his outside. Going to peek to his inside. Not going to have the run. Just going to stay in that draft now as everybody else going to fight for position behind him. 3 wide in the back with the 50, the 42, and the 24.
Oh, wow. Here we go. We've been caution-free up to this point. Does it change all of a sudden as Elvin Priest is going to back out? Elvin Priest has been running in the back all night long. Not the race he wanted. As this is his last season, he officially announces. Not the performance we wanted to see from him again. Same thing for Blackcross. Also a bad performance from him tonight. Hasn't really found himself into the top 5 except for that one point of the race where he got into 5th. But not the night you would expect from him. As 19mm. Oh, sorry, that's Garv. He's in the top 5. Those cars are very similar. I honestly thought that the 15 was...
I know, I said that earlier. I'm like, cool, 2 cars with red and black paint schemes.
Very identical.
Yeah, but we saw Garv make that pass near the end of stage 2 to get to that 4th spot. Able to hold it through the pit cycle is under yellow. Is now Showtime still out in control right now. Parley this time sticking with it. Question is, who made the best changes on that last pit stop? I mean, sometimes with this setup, there's really only so much that you can do to really help that car. But sometimes a little bit goes a long way. And who's going to benefit from that? I mean, you also got to remember, too, the 7 of Showtime also making adjustments on his car to make it better. So definitely have a battle on your hands on who's going to make the best adjustments for their car.
Showtime Flash has been the class of the field here tonight, as I believe he swept the stages, if I'm correct.
Yep,
swept the stages. As you know, it's hard to bet against that 7 car every time he comes out here, every week. He just, no matter what the track is, what it's shaped like, how big it is, it doesn't matter. That 7 car always finds a way to lead laps, and he's been putting on a clinic here tonight. We're going to see, though, as everything unfolds, if anyone has anything for him, as the 44 is kind of peeking to the inside there. Not enough of a run. I believe Parley's going to be the impatient guy here.
Oh, yeah, if I'm that 5 car, I know I'm going to be one to fight for the lead. He kind of washed it out of turn 2 on the end of that last stage, kind of took him out of the running to try and fight for that stage win. He probably wasn't going to be able to put up much of a fight. He probably could have fought for second if he had to, but definitely not what we thought we were going to see by that 5 car. Usually one of the more consistent guys around an oval, being able to hit his lines, not overdrive the corners,
Absolutely.
or at least as of late. So to see him wash it in turn 2, not really fighting anybody, just trying to outrun the car, definitely not what we're used to seeing. But I think this race is going to be one on pit strategy, because, I mean, you could get by that 7 if you really wanted to, potentially. I mean, even if you do, that 7's got that such good straight line speed, he might just be able to get right back by you. So right now, it's what can you do pit strategy-wise? So it looks like the 7 kind of sent it in. The 44 tried to take a peek to his inside. It's now the 5 car. Got loose, I think, and had to drop out of the gas, and now drops out of 3rd. He'll move back to 5th and lose that lead draft.
Wow. It looks like that 5 car is all over the place. As the race has gone on, that car has lost more and more grip, and it's really starting to show now as he's lost the draft. He finds himself back in 5th now. That might just be enough to ruin his night. We're going to see, though. I think that he still has a chance with strategy.
Oh, okay. It was a little bit of help unintentionally by the 44 field filler. Kind of had a little bit of a moment out of turn 2. Might have been helped by the game, but ended up brake checking the 5. Again, unintentional. It was not the 44's doing. It was kind of a little bit helped by game, but definitely not what you want to have happen to you if you're that 5 car. Is now the top 4, the only guys really in the running right now. And funny enough, in that top 4, you have the 15 of Garb and the 78 of 19.
Very interesting. I think we're gonna see if they have what it takes to go up there and eat the 7 car, who's been untouchable all night long. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be that 44 field filler.
Yes, now we have about 30 laps to go. Now coming to 29. Left in this
just made an announcement that they are moving to 100 horsepower.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 2 cylinders.
1,000. Oh, nice. Might as well drive around in
It's a prank
Priuses.
post by Bob Pockers on Twitter.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, he said they're moving to a 100 horsepower.
That's
because
so
all the
fun.
talk in the last week.
Uh-huh.
Which they said that they're thinking about testing it. I think they're testing it this weekend in North Wilkesboro.
No.
1,000 horsepower. No, I'm being dead serious. 1,000 horsepower.
Oh, 1,000. Oh, 1,000? Nice.
Yes, they're testing it this weekend at North Wilkesboro, I believe.
Well, yeah, because, I mean,
Larson
you
was
got a
begging
guy...
for it.
Yeah, Larson was like, dude, like, I don't know what the hell... Well, no, because Larson even came out and was like, dude, I don't know what they're talking about. We could literally do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Harvick literally said, he's like, it needs to be more than 1,000. It needs to blow the back end off the damn car.
No, that was Reddick that said that. He was like, no, we need like 1,200 horsepower.
No, Harvick went on his Happy podcast on Fox.
Oh,
and
he
said,
did?
He said that they need to, like, it needs to have enough horsepower to blow the back end of the damn car off. Finally, all the drivers are uniting and begging for it, so that was our quick little podcast intermission here in Stage 3. As hopefully, in the future, we will see 1,000 horsepower again, or anything close to that.
That would be sick. Just have a bunch of Bugatti Veyrons going around the track.
Yes, we're going to have V12 engines in these cars.
Yeah, it's now... The 44 is still right on the back bumper of the 7. Not looking to go around him as it looks like. Maybe that 15 overshot the corner of the 78, choosing to not take the shot and go to his inside.
Road. Up, Parley, 41 of Old Johnny Boy and Black Cross all find their way down the pit road, including Elvin Priest and Shack Attack in the 50. So 5 cars, short pit. See if it works out for them, as they've been the slow guys in the field tonight. We're going to see where these top 4 guys make their decision, as here comes the 44. He's going to cut down to the bottom. He's going to pit this time, same as the 7 and the 78 as well. I believe the 15 is going to stay out, which would be his first lap sled in Phantom.
No, I think Garv won Talladega, didn't he?
Garv?
No, he's not going to come. No, he's not going to stay out.
Talladega.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Portal did win. No, Garv had a shot at it. He finished top 3. That's right.
No.
No?
I
swear to
finished
God,
top 3 with Yield Filler and Portal.
I know it. Oh, probably because I interviewed literally everybody. So, I'm probably just mixing Garv up. But, we're going to have to wait and see. As I believe K2005 is now on track. In the 43, he is one of the cars who is already pitted. Just getting his lap back now. Now we're just going to have to wait and see where these cars that are on track, like the 41 of Old Johnny Boy, who on that first pit stop has been doing a really good job of putting that car where it needs to be. He's now in front of that 24 and the 5 car. But I don't think he'll be any closer of being with that top 5. He might be able to get well on the bumpers of that 4-car tandem up front, but it looks like
4-car tandem anymore.
No, they definitely got spread out. But no, he's not able to get up with him, and the 5 of Parley lost at a huge amount of time.
Once again, just a lot of struggles from that 5 car. He might have been repairing damage from the wall hit, as he's back in 7th right now. Not what you usually see from the 5 car. Usually you see a struggle in stage 1 and 2, and then comes out and wins the damn race. But this race has been the polar opposite. Ran pretty good in stage 1, pretty decent in stage 2, and now finds himself back in 7th. His night might as well be over. Made a lot of mistakes. It looks like the car is a wreck.
Man, he's still got one more pit stop left, and if he took tires on this one so that way he could go fuel only on the last one, that might be able to be enough to save him.
He might need a caution.
He might need a yellow, but I see this race going caution-free unless Field feels like making an unwise dive underneath the 7 and they both spin. I don't really see how a yellow would be thrown. I mean, you could probably hear all the drivers screaming for debris somewhere due to all the cars hitting the wall, but I don't think they're going to get a yellow for that.
Yeah, this field Showtime Flash just once again, unbelievable performance. He has been the class of the field since the playoffs begun. I think he's the favorite to win a championship at this rate.
Yeah, we see it from these Showtime guys. Every time they're on track, they're running in the top 2, if not leading. These guys just have something figured out when it comes to the speed they have in their cars. So we're going to have to see. But Field Filler has been doing a really good job of sticking with them. So I'm definitely not counting Field Filler out. It's just, can he have that long run speed in that 44 to be able to really stick with the 7?
Even though I outran the 7 last week, he's actually the reason I didn't win. Fun fact, I had the run off turn 4, and when I was gonna make a cut down to make it 3 wide for the lead, which I feel like I had enough of a run. It would have helped me get to the lead and win the race, but the 7 was below me, and I didn't want to cut him off or wreck him, so I hesitated on the move, and I ended up behind the 47 of Portal. So I can only thank the 7 car for the reason of me losing that race.
That is right, as we just saw, Field Filler missed the bottom of turn 2, got out of that draft, and the 7 able to pull away just a little bit. Field Filler now has to get that ground, has to work that much harder to get that ground back. 20 laps to go. The final stage.
Only a 100-lap race here at Auto Club. Not too long of a race, not too short of a race. But it feels like there's only 5 laps to go with how this race has progressed, and we only have 20 laps to go instead. So that's 7 Built.com cars just been putting on a clinic, making this race feel a lot slower.
Built different, it should say, because he has just had the speed that nobody can match right now on any portion of this track, as the 5 car has not gained really any ground. But like I said, he could be trying to just do fuel only on that last stop to try and get ahead of that 7.
I just checked his tires. They're in bad condition.
No, really?
Yeah.
And then never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna say that, you know, at Auto Club, you expect there to be a lot of different leaders and expect there to not be a dominating force, as it is merely a drafting track, but we've seen the most dominant performance I've ever witnessed at Auto Club, as I was expecting a lot of passes for the lead tonight, as we're getting tandems all the way back to 6th.
Yeah, cars just trying to work together to work themselves up to that leader, or at least the top 4. The 15 and the 78, really. Yeah, he didn't have the exit. Yeah, that first pit stop didn't really go as well as we all thought it was going to. Came in inside the top 5, stayed just in the top 5 on exit, and after it was said and done, just wasn't able to get back around and ahead of those leaders ahead.
Hey, 2005 makes his way down pit road in his debut that has not gone his way, but hey man, it's all about learning. It's all a learning experience here in the Phantom Pro Series, so his night is pretty much over at this rate, as he was about 20 seconds back, but we'll see him back, and I think that we'll see him racing a lot better in the future. So just want to give a shout out. As we're seeing 2 more cars on pit road, Shack Attack and Alvin Priest.
Yeah, guys just trying to short pit now, get as much out of their pit stop as possible. But these guys are going to try and run it to the end here and just get a little bit of the quickest splash you ever seen.
Oh!
The 7 misses the corner. The 44 looking to his inside, not able to get the run.
Coming to 15 to go.
He still might be there.
No.
No, he's not going to be able to stay there. He tried to hug the bottom. Not going to try and dive the corner either. The 7 just kind of flicked out of turn 3. Just kind of shot high.
showed less patience than we usually see out of him. That might have just helped the 15 and 78 get back into the mix of this one.
Yeah, they definitely can, excuse me, catch that draft.
Harley's coming in this time.
Yeah, probably going to have to do something here. He's going to have to throw a Hail Mary to try and save his race here. We're going to see if it'll pay off, but he was behind by quite a large margin, so he's going to give it the beans going into pit road. We're going to have to see if it pays off or if he does, or if he dodges a speeding penalty doing so.
When will we see the 7 and 44 make their move down the pit road as the laps are winding down? Still no indication of them pitting. Same for 3rd and 4th. That's Garvin 19mm. Still haven't made their decisions. Now we see old Johnny Boy and Blackcross come down the pit road. That's your 5th and 6th runners. So now it's once again just the top 4 up front. Kind of what we expected to see, as Garvin 19 showing late speed in this race. And once again, I had to mention earlier on in the race, I was talking about old Johnny Boy, who runs really good in the beginning of those races and then falls apart, is now we're going to be seeing pit stops this time from the leaders. Let's see, you got to be careful, no mistakes.
The 44 going to undercut the entrance to
Ooh,
pit
78
road.
came in hot.
Going to wait, listen to see. The 78 clears the black flag, no penalty given. He'll be good to go. As now we wait to see.
I mean, no matter how good of a pit stop they have, they're still going to end up out front here. I believe it's all about the pit crews at this point.
Yeah.
Who comes out first?
Wait to see.
I believe it should be the 7-0 issue.
Yeah, they're going full fuel. Get as much gas into this car as you can fill. Because now they come off the pit road.
No one behind.
Nope, the 5-car Parley, he will be in 5th when all is said and done, but he will not be anywhere near these guys. As now the 78 will come out ahead of the 44 field filler.
Oh, Parley doesn't have enough gas. Parley's just short by half a lap.
Oh, so he's going to have to go into fuel save.
That might as well end this race.
Now we're going to see if now the 78 can have anything for that 7. We've been really focused.
24 round!
Oh, no!
Turns 3 and 4, 2 cars!
The 50! The 50 got involved!
That should be a caution. Oh, the 50's still around.
Oh, the cars keep going.
Well, we see a caution.
They race to the line.
They're talking about it right now. We're hearing voice chatter.
They are going
Caution
yellow.
is out.
Huge. That is huge for the 5-car
With 10
Parley.
to go.
This stacks the field, and Parley will be able to come down with the leaders potentially and get fresher tires than everybody on the track.
I don't know how, but we manifested it for him. Now he finds himself back in the mix after we were calling his day as good as done. We're seeing some comments in the YouTube. Let me check that out. As they were talking about race controls says caution, as well as Ed saying this changes everything. Yes, it does. Wow.
Yeah, definitely want to give a shout out.
The first
to
caution of the
comments.
night.
Yeah,
8 people
definitely,
in the
I believe.
stream now.
Yes, I believe it's Timmy. That will be under the Phantom Pro Racing. And what's up to everything NASCAR? Glad to have you around. Glad to see Edward in here too as well.
They all come down pit road.
And here we go. This stacks the field. Everybody going to have the same fuel, same tires. The last chance to make that final adjustment on your car.
And it's setting up for another good finish.
Yeah, it is. But don't worry, baby. I'll throw my voice out for you. Don't worry.
I'll put in some effort too. Don't worry. I'm gonna start coughing. All right, here we go. Pit stop.
Hi, buddy. I thought that was you, but I just wanted to be sure.
Who's gonna come out first?
This could change everything. Could someone try and take two to come out ahead of the leaders? The 78's out. Nobody goes two.
Evan wins off pit road. Elvin Priest, though, in fourth. Oh, never mind. He lost his spot.
He comes out top 5, though.
No,
sorry, sixth. I can't count. Ooh. 24 gets a little bit of rambunctious on the pit road, runs into the back of that 41.
Did not get the pit stop he wanted as Parley finds himself in fourth in the front 2 rows.
Yeah, definitely.
Gonna be interesting. Poor Garv. Lost some track position there on pit road.
Still has that inside
78
line.
though, 19mm. Running second.
Guys, now we're gonna see how everything pans out.
We're going green with 8 laps to go. Gonna be a good one.
Guys, now they come through turn 4, waiting to hit that restart zone.
Here we go.
Back underway. The 7 will lead him. It'll be the 78 of 19 to his outside with a 5 on his bumper. We're green flag again with under 10 laps. Now 8 laps to go.
The 7 with a great restart.
Stage.
Just the restart the 7 wanted. As now Parley stuck on the outside. Elvin Priest is below him. Will he have the run on the outside to get back up to 4th? The 7 car, smooth sailing, hoping for, oh, the cars in the back of the field all over the place. Oh, it looks like someone got on the wall. That check up the field, and Parley finding himself out of the mix again.
Yeah, but look who's coming to the top 4. Elvin Priest looking to have a good finish. Just needs to get past one more to have a solid top 3. But right now it's the 7, the 78, and the 44 breaking away from this pack. That's going on behind them. As now we have 7 laps left.
Who's going to make that risky move?
Yeah, no, it's right now the 78 and the 44, the only ones who can make a move. As the 42 of Elvin Priest loses that lead draft, and he will fall back to the hornet's nest that's behind him. But Parley's still staying on that outside, trying to make it work, to try and gain a little bit of those spots back.
How patient can that 78 be with 6 laps to go now? Chasing down the 7, the guy that's dominated all night long. Does the 78 have anything for that 7 car, or does Field Filler find himself back in the mix? There's a lot of stuff going on back here.
Yeah, I was telling you it was a hornet's nest in the back. They went 3 wide into turn 1. The 15 had to check up and let the 5 and the 41 who
here comes the 78.
Filled the gap that barely just filled. Or they could just barely fill them. Yeah. So now we come to 5 laps to go. The 7 still currently your leader, but the 78 is not going away. The 44 is starting to fade. A little bit of car length between him and second. Right now it's just the 7 and the 78 with the 44 trying to stay in their tracks.
It's all about timing. When do you make the move? How dangerous is the move going to be? I mean, we're seeing the 78 diving hard into the corner. If he gets into the back of the 7, I'm sure he won't appreciate that. As now, this time around, 4 laps to go. The 78 still chasing down the 7.
He's trying his best, trying to get every little bit of draft, trying to find some clean air to put on his nose to give himself a little bit of a run. Trying to run a higher line than the 7 to get a little bit of that outside run on him. Maybe gets a little bit But right now, those cars staying equal down the backstretch. No edge given to either driver. Now the 78 tries to take a sharper line into turns 3 and 4, as now we'll come to 3 laps to go this time by, with the 7 still out front, but the 78 still not going away. As the Hornets that's behind them continues to stir, with Elvin Priest out in front of that in 4th. But right now it's all about the 78 and the 7. And will the 44 be able to throw his hat in the mix? Or, by some shadow of a doubt, with all this battling going on, could we see an overtime?
Car on the bottom. Who was that? Old Johnny Boy. Because now, this time around, off of turn 4, we're coming at 2 laps to go. Who's it going to be when they come around to the white flag? How aggressive will the 78 be? Patience is running low, and time is running out. So will we see the 78 make a move this lap? With only 2 laps to go, the 78 keeps diving it hard into the corner. He has nothing for that 7 car just yet. The 44 is hoping that they get contact as the 44 ends up in the wall.
He's gone. It's now between the 7 and the 78.
A huge mistake now. Just a battle between 2 cars. Does the 78 have anything left in the tank for the 7 car? This time around, off turn 4, we got white flags in the air, 1 to go here at Auto Club.
That 7 has been on rails all day, but the 78 has been on his rails, staying in those tire tracks, trying to steal every little bit of draft he can off of the 7. And out of turn 2, down the backstretch, the 78 is no closer. Still about a car length between the leader in second and the 44 now completely out of this. Can he make one last dive bomb to try and get underneath the 7? He's going to look to do so. He's got to run out of turn 4. He's going to duck to the inside. He might be able to do it. He's not going to. Oh! Give it to the 7 as they make contact across the line.
A good move by the 78 car. Almost got him there. But not enough to beat the 7. If the 7 would have had any worse of an exit, that would have been the 78's win. But the 7 stays great under pressure, and that's going to help him get another win. I believe it's 7 or 8 on the season now. What a job by Showtime Flash. These playoffs have been dominated by that 7 car, as now he comes away with another win, this time out west in Auto Club, Fontana, California.
And again, we have another close finish. 0.3 of a second is what separates first and second across that line. Or not 0.3, sorry, 0.03 of a second is what separates first from second.